Yo, in today's video, we'll be looking at creepy and bizarre TikToks that will make you question reality.
Did you know this was a thing?
Oh, got you. May I please get a trading card?
You know what? I think my first officer has some. I've run out on this trip, and I think he has them right here. So what's the last name?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Got our first trading card.
So evidently, Delta Airlines has been doing that since 1984. And there's a whole collector's set going all the way back to the earliest planes for plane enthusiasts, airport enthusiasts, everyone that's into all of that stuff to collect these cards. And there are some extremely rare ones and some really expensive ones. My point in all of this is, how many flights have you taken on Delta and you never knew this was a thing? You had no idea the pilot was carrying trading cards, collectible trading cards on him, and all you had to do was ask for one.
I never knew.
It's going to change the way that you perceive Delta Airlines. Some of you just don't care. Some of you were like, I'm going to ask for one on every single flight. I know all of the traveling I used to do for music back in the day. I'd probably have the whole set by now. I know that's not how it works, but I look back on that and I wish I would have known something like that. How many other things in this life are you completely unaware of that are happening right under your nose? Just imagine. I can't imagine being someone that doesn't try to think outside the box, that doesn't do any critical thinking or trying to figure out the deeper meanings behind stuff. There is a lot of stuff happening in this world that's happening right in front of your eyes, right under your nose, and you have no idea because you're so consumed with all of these other things that don't matter.
Listen, just thought that before my army of super genome warriors take over the world, I should give
Watch
you a
this,
taste
y'all.
of what to expect.
So you know how we've been talking about these clones and everything, and how they've been cloning people and celebrities and stuff like that. So this is the Proud Family, the movie, and as a child, I didn't really register, but this, if you guys watch this kind of gives you an understanding of what we've been talking about the mask, the people, clones, robots, and all these different conspiracy theories, and how they put it right here in your face in kids' movies, and you just look past it and don't even realize it.
These fun, bright, happy beings are peanut clones. Say hello, because they are our friends. And very soon, you'll be seeing them all around your community.
Yo.
Clones.
Say hello.
Not necessarily
Say
peanut
hello.
clones, but y'all get the picture.
The clones.
Clones are back
So
for
remember,
people.
next time you see a peanut clone, say hello. Because we're going to be around for a long, long, long time.
That's right. And for those of you who think peanuts are played out, done,
And this is how they would do the face mask, the skin mask.
news for you. We're here to stay. The takeover begins in T-minus 5 minutes. Have a blessed evening.
This is real funny.
Hey, that's crazy. So they also had clones in the new movie The Good Burger. They were talking about clones, but they were calling them animatronics, so like animatronic clones. It's all type of ideas for what a clone can be or what a clone's going to be. But they've been throwing the clone concept at us all over the place for years and years and years.
On how they legit got this junk backwards. If they doing the yin and the yang, because that's what that black and that white represent. Right?
Right.
If that represents the yin and yang, guess what the yin and yang represents? The yin is feminine. It represents the triple blackness of space, the triple blackness in the woman's womb that gives birth to a child, a star, a soul, a son. My son Mason. So the yin is supposed to be dark and the yang is supposed to be masculine because it gives birth to that son, my son Mason. So literally, even that is backwards. The woman is supposed to wear black and the man is supposed to wear white. That's the whole concept of the widow. That's why the widow wears black. So she's supposed to wear black during the marriage too. Boy,
Whew, I'm gonna have to talk to wifey about that one.
Do y'all remember that Balenciaga model that went missing? And then this mannequin ended up showing up in a Balenciaga store that looked exactly like him?
That's real hair. That's real hands.
So I'm doing a little bit of scrolling, and I see this video.
Yo, look at this dude in the airport. The dude is in like a glass box, sleeping. Fell asleep. And it totally broke me for a little while when I came up on it. I was like, no way, why do they have this cool box? Is it one at a time and it's like soundproof and you can go in and take a nap? It's a sculpture. The Traveler, Dwayne Hansen, 1925 to 1996. Bronze, polychromed in oil, mixed media with accessories, 1985, Florida.
That looked like a real person. That's the Wax Museum, right? Yo, y'all, do y'all have anybody seen that movie, The Wax Museum? Go watch that movie. That'll blow your mind. This is crazy.
Artist. What in the world? That's 71 years, by the way. So, is that like a real dude? And he was a traveler? I love the accuracy of everything here. Like, that's really good. Kind of some like dark circles a little bit. The old luggage tags.
Come on. I mean, honestly, come on. Like, I paused it in multiple places, zoomed into that guy's face, like, that does not look or feel like any kind of prosthetics to me, or that feels in my soul, that dude feels real. And when you understand the way this world really works, and what the powers that be are actually capable of, and the things that they've already done in this life, it changes the way you see things. It changes the possibilities. All I know is I got a lot of questions. Like, I would love to know who that guy is. Like, I'm not talking about the artist, I'm talking about the person that you're looking at in that video. What do you all think?
Right, that's somebody's uncle. They'll be like, that's uncle.
Say, look, I'm predicting this. This man, Charleston White, is about to fall off about 2 to 5 years. You heard me? And this is why. I seen a video, like, real talk, really. I seen a video where he was like, I got a hold of some money after the black community. If I'm not an activist no more, it's that video where he was talking, right? And this is what he said, God forgive me. I'm not about to repeat it. Go watch the video. He said he had to remind himself of who he is. F God. Now that F is a curse word. I'm not about to say that and say, yeah, go in the same sentence. I'm not doing that, boy. And if you don't believe in it, why would you say that? Because just in case. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. But this is how money change people. Money is the root of all evil, dog. Some people is not supposed to get money because that shit go to their head. They go to thinking they fucking God and shit. Like, he's gonna fall off 2 to 5 years because how the way that shit works, it's not gonna happen instantly. They have to build up. You gotta understand, the devil was in heaven, fell to earth. He went to heaven, fell to earth. You have to go up. He said, oh God, he at the peak. He's at the peak. He's up. He have no choice but to fall down, and it's falling down slowly, like how LeBron slowly declining, but still one of the best basketball players. How Wayne still the fucking GOAT, but he's declining slowly but fucking surely. How Drake is up there at the peak, got 12 billion views, but that's not him in his prime. So once you hit the peak, you have no other way but to go down. What makes you go down fast is your ego, not being humble and playing with God, dog. I'm sorry, I done seen this too many times, dog. We're about to witness the downfall of this man in about 2 to 5 years. I'm predicting it. It's my prediction. I'm never wrong.
That's crazy, because I was just like on YouTube the other day. I think it was yesterday. Literally, I pop open my YouTube app and it's a video with Charleston White in there. I've never even looked up Charleston White or searched Charleston White, but he popped up, so that's a crazy coincidence.
How many times can you say his name? Uzi, 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 Uzi.
Lil Uzi Vertical's long-awaited concert tour has officially begun, and some fans are saying they felt like they were a part of some type of ritual. Now, before I show you the rest of the clip, you heard that girl say that Uzi has a game to play. How many times can you say his name? And she says it 6 times. Now, if you keep repeating his name, Lil Uzi Vert, it starts to sound like the name Lucifer, and it's no coincidence she said it 6 times, the devil's number. Now watch the rest of this clip, and I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on the rest of his concert tour.
The government's been lying to us, and I just found out that Black Friday isn't even real. So this video has been surfacing recently of this girl being at Target, and she sees the Black Friday sales, but she starts checking under the sale signs, and it turns out that the before Black Friday sale number is the exact same as the Black Friday sale. So realistically, there's not even a sale. And this makes me wonder, how many more times are they going to do this? Or how long have they been doing this?
They've been doing this forever.
Is this some kind of market manipulation tactic to get people into stores to buy these items? Or what's the goal here?
Do y'all remember them days where people used to bum rush the store?
Going to the moon is a satanic lie of gigantic proportions. I don't hit people, but you're going to be on the deck unless you get... I'm heading out. I appreciate it. And get the hell out of my house.
Don't get a gun and shoot them at them before they get out of the office?
We have a video camera running if you want to do it.
Right.
That would be great footage for us. See you later. In court, I hope.
Want to call the CIA? Have them whacked?
Wait, have them waxed? What did we just watch? With the little Balenciaga model in the airport, dude, they wax bodies. Oh, no.
You put a transparency over the window and move the camera of the earth and move the camera back away from the window. Turn off the lights in the spacecraft and appeared to be halfway to the moon when in fact they were in Earth orbit.
Huh, really?
Yeah, and they said it was the same way that you did it on Apollo 10. So we wanted to give you the opportunity to put your left hand on the Bible, to raise your right hand, to swear to God.
Stick it in your ear.
If you walked on the moon, we're giving the opportunity to swear to God that you walked on the moon.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to get the hell knocked out of you if you don't leave me alone.
They be ready to fight. Look at him running. He said, oh, I'm caught.
A very unique reel of footage that we have queued up to show you.
Yeah.
And it's from the mission. And to our knowledge, no one has ever seen it before. And it's 30 years old.
And you want me to see this while you have me on camera?
Well, and to tell us what it is. That's correct. And you'll see this tape proves that.
Okay, well, I'm not interested in satisfying your suppositions when there's all this evidence that we did.
This proves, as you see, that you were using the window to demonstrate that you were halfway to the moon when you were...
Turn the camera off, please. Turn the camera off. Well, you're talking to the wrong guy. Why don't you talk to the administrator at NASA? We're passengers. We're guys going on a flight.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief. Did you see shooting stars? Did you see the shooting stars?
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
But there's a lot of noise going on. So I don't know the results of some of the experiments they've conducted. The point is they can't get that far from here, and they're really in the protective confines of the Earth. They're really in the protective confines of the Earth. They're really in the protective
International Space Crew attempted a spacewalk outside the station. Here's a live look at the astronauts. Well, I don't believe. I don't think that's, yeah.
Where's their space?
So this is photo trickery and brainwashing that's got the world thinking that we're on a ball spinning around the sun with a magical force called gravity holding us on the underside of this spinning ball. It's all just brainwashing that we've received. It's pseudoscience accepted as legit science. But real science has confirmed geocentricity in the flat Earth. Flat Earth. Flat Earth. The best way to brainwash the whole world, to lie to the whole world about what the world is. In reality, we're not a cosmic accidental sneeze, nothingness turned everything. This is quite obviously intelligently designed, this thing we're experiencing here, this life, this universe. I can't believe anyone in their right mind can look me in the eyes with a straight face and say, no man, it's all random.
Man, you globe earthers, got something to say about that one? Y'all still think that they went to the moon when clearly they say that we can't get to the moon? Come on, man.
The current American education states African Americans were brought to America as slaves from Africa, which is simply not true. They are American indigenous, not descendants of Africans. As they say, the truth is stranger than fiction. Although this fact isn't spoken of openly, it's not a secret. However, with programming such as Roots, 12 Years a Slave, The African American Story, and The Book of Negroes, is it any wonder why so many African Americans are confused? We won't address all the misleading DNA tests being provided to connect African Americans to Africa. So, the argument is, do they continue identifying as African Americans, which is a fake identity for them, or embrace being identified?
Hey there, Finger Blaster. Where you going? Don't scroll yet. It's Danica Patrick. You even know who that is? Some people probably don't even have a clue. Well, looks like she's giving an interview to somebody that you probably don't even have a clue about either. Has to do with the Anunnaki and maybe a little history lesson. But hey, it's just my opinion. I'm just here to put it in front of your face and you take with it with what you will. It may resonate, it may not. But if you don't know the word resonate, get used to it. You're going to hear a lot of it.
The Anunnaki fully leave this planet.
As far as I know. Blaster, where you going?
They were recalled because what they did, as in my understanding, as Bashar's explained it, what they did they shouldn't have done. They weren't supposed to genetically engineer the native species at all. And therefore, by having done that to aid and assist them in their work, I think my understanding of the story is that they were actually recalled. And then the rest of the Anunnaki had to sort of guide us for
where you
a
going?
while
Don't
to
scroll
make
yet.
sure
It's Danica Patrick.
we could
You
sort
even know who
of
that is?
survive on our own.
Some people probably
And
don't even
that's
have a
where
clue.
all the ancient
Well,
stories
looks
of
like
the
she's giving an
gods
interview
come
to somebody
in,
that you probably don't even have a clue about either. Has to do with the Anunnaki and maybe a little history lesson. But hey, it's just my opinion. I'm just here to put it in front of your face and you take with it with what you will. It may resonate, it may not. But if you don't know the word resonate, get used to it. You're going to hear a lot of it.
The demigods and all of that kind of stuff. So again, as far as not something they were should have done, because what they did, in my understanding, as water was explaining it, what they did, not sure that's what they weren't genetically engineered. The native species could be very confused here for us, and therefore, by having done that, so aided the story system in their work. So I think my understanding of the story.
What is the link with the Anunnaki and the Egyptians?
And
is there any link there?
There may be. It's had to sort of guide us for a while. The Anunnaki were hundreds of thousands of years ago survive on our own. And the idea, the ancient stories of the gods come in that are once humanity was kind of guided to a certain point, it spawned advanced civilizations like what we call Lemuria and Atlantis. And I think it's more the advanced civilization of Atlantis that affected the early Egyptian civilization and started giving them the knowledge they needed to build pyramids and all that kind of stuff that are still today until the knowledge was lost. That's more the idea of the early destruction of the matings and all that caused a lot of knowledge to be lost over time. So the demigods kind of all of that kind of recapturing some of that. Not something they probably
curious
should have
about the
done,
correlation between our level of consciousness and the ability to hold information and the
genetics
awareness
on
of
what they
how
are.
the pyramids were built
Why
and
things could be very
rediscovering
confused
this
here for us,
information.
why there's
Is
such
that
a
is
mix
it
of
more
people.
of sort of like a
So, the story
parallel
isn't complete yet,
meeting
but
place that
so far
happens
that's
with
what
the
we've
technology and
told for sure.
consciousness?
What is the link with
Or
the
is
Anunnaki and the Egyptians?
yes? Is there any link there?
Yeah, I
There
think
may
Shark
be.
said,
It's
you know,
more-
the
that's
level
more
of
recent.
technology that
The
exists
Anunnaki
in any
were
civilization is a marker to some degree
the
of the
idea
level of their consciousness. Because if your consciousness
once
doesn't arrive at a certain level, you can't even imagine how to build advanced civilizations like what we call now the Atlanteans had a very high level of consciousness at a certain point in their history, as I understand it, and they achieved a lot of things, but they also achieved a lot of knowledge they needed to build than the way we've achieved all that kind of stuff that are so we have yet to learn how they did certain things, although we have hints, but they understood the structure of light, of sound, vibration, that allowed them to achieve a lot of interesting things, and we just have learned to do things
I'm
differently.
curious about
You know,
the
we have
correlation
atomic
between our level
power.
of
I don't think they had
consciousness and the
atomic
ability
power,
to hold
but they had
information
vibrational
and
power.
the
They had
awareness of
understanding
how
of
the
crystalline
pyramids were
light
built
power,
and
you know, and things like
rediscovering this
that. So,
information.
you know, it's
is
just a
that
matter
is
of
it
how
more
each
sort of like
civilization
a
expresses
parallel
what their consciousness
meeting
does.
place that happens
The problem
with the
is that our
technology and
consciousness
consciousness,
is also compartmentalized.
or is
So we can
yes?
have certain advances in
Yeah, I
technology,
think Shaka said,
and
you know,
not
the level
necessarily
of
be so
technology that
advanced
exists in any
spiritually or morally,
civilization is a
marker to some degree. So we're trying to
of the
catch
level of
up, consciousness, because to the
if your
idea
consciousness
that
doesn't
all
arrive
has to
at a
be
certain
balanced
level,
out, you can't even imagine
before we can
how to
really
build
achieve
certain things, a
Yeah.
quantum leap to the next level. Now the Atlanteans had a
I wanna
very
go
high
both
level
sides of
of
that. So
consciousness
first
at a
off,
certain
what is it
point
that
in their
takes a
history, as I
civilization
understand
out?
it, and they
Is
achieved a lot
there
of things, but they also achieved a lot of things that are different
proactive
than the way we've achieved
entities
certain
that
things.
make sure that a
So
planet
we have yet
stays
to learn how they did certain
calm
things,
enough,
although
or
we have
is
hints
this like, or
that
is
they
it cataclysm?
understood
Is
things
it astral?
about light, about sound, vibration. From Bashar's point of view, that allowed them to achieve a lot was a comet and see just have tsunamis everywhere, and that different to me is, you know, we have atomic power. I don't think they had atomic power. Is the fact that they had a comet hit the ocean and they had an understanding of crystallized light floods that have, you know, from that and that wiped out the last. So, you know, it's just a matter of how. But again, Earth is a place of cycles. There are cataclysms that happen in this reality that have taken out many different civilizations. I think scientists are beginning to discover and not necessarily more so advanced than spiritually a few civilizations have been wiped out on this planet by a variety of catastrophes, I think, including the idea that all has to be balanced out. You know, it's like begin again, a quantum leap. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of pyramids
I wanna
around
go
the
both
world
sides
and
of that.
temples were
So
built
first off, what
is
is it that
we're going to
takes a
lose
civilization
this
out?
information from time to
Is
time because
there
that's just the
actual,
nature of being on Earth. So
proactive
let's build things that are almost
entities
indestructible
that make sure that a
contain
planet
all the
stays
information that
calm
people
enough,
will need
or
to
is this
rediscover
like,
so
or
they
is
don't
it
have to
cataclysm?
start
Is
from
it astral?
scratch. They just have to be smart enough to understand that this is the special structure and that there's something they can learn from it. And we have discovered, to me, is what he says, that's the Pyramid and other temples and pyramids around the world. And I think they were all constructed around the same time before the destruction of Atlantis, because I think some people do it was coming again.
Well,
In cycles, you know.
And then they create
So,
a dome.
You say that, and I thought to myself,
It's crazy.
what would I
It's
do
like,
if I
a lot
thought
of this
that
stuff
there was
is-
going to be some kind of
I think
fallout?
it's
And I thought to myself,
true,
where would I
yeah.
go if that happened? What would I
How
do?
we
And it'd
find
be
that
like,
truth,
you just go
I don't
in
know
our
that
Earth.
answer
Like,
yet.
where else do you go? If you can't get off the planet, you go inside. Did
right, and that's
we do
exactly,
that?
yeah, that's exactly what happened with the Greys. They went underground. Is the fact that a comet hit the ocean and there were floods that happened, widespread floods that happened from that, and it wiped out the last vestiges of Atlantis. But again, Earth is a place of cycles. There are cataclysms that happen in this reality that have taken out many different civilizations. I think scientists are beginning to discover that more than a few civilizations have been wiped out on this planet by a variety of catastrophes, including meteorites. So, you know, it's like begin again, begin again, begin again. And I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of pyramids around the world and temples were built, is we're going to lose this information from time to time because that's just the nature of being on Earth. So let's build things that are almost indestructible that contain all the information that people will need to rediscover, so they don't have to start from scratch. They just have to be smart enough to understand that this is a special structure and that there's something they can learn from it. And we have discovered, obviously, there's advanced mathematics in the Great Pyramid and other temples and pyramids around the world. And I think they were all constructed around the same time before the destruction of Atlantis, because I think some people knew it was coming again. Because these things work in cycles, you know. So
you say that, and I've thought to myself, what would I do if I thought that there was going to be some kind of fallout? And I thought to myself, where would I go if that happened? What would I do? And it'd be like, you just go inner Earth. Like, where else do you go? If you can't get off the planet, you go inside.
Right, and that's exactly that's exactly what happened with the Greys. They went underground, and that's why they mutated into the form that they're in. It's why they have such large eyes. They had to see in the dark. So even though they had lighting, it's very sparse, because again, they were at a point where their civilization had pretty much collapsed. In scrounging together whatever advancement they had, the last ditch effort to shift to another reality, to save themselves. So they mutated in the way that they did by going underground. No, that's well in their reality. I mean, again, everything exists at the same time, but linearly, no, that's over and done with for them, because now they're here and they're creating the hybrids, and there may not be that many Greys left, in fact, at this time frame.
So being on Earth, on the surface, or in a ship nearby,
in ships,
on the moon.
Yeah, bases, underground, under ocean, on the moon, bases like that, things like that, from where they can operate with impunity.
The moon ain't what you think.
We were, according to the stories, offered a lot of this technology, not necessarily from the Greys, but from other species back in the 50s, and we refused, again, out of fear. So, you know, they're doing what they can behind the scenes to save themselves and hopefully save us from down the same path. But there's a lot of paranoia and a lot of fear to overcome in the powers that be, because they don't want to lose what they see as their power, even though it's not really an expression of power. But, you know, it's starting to come out. The cracks are showing, information is leaking out, and a lot of people I've heard on the inside are trying to get that information out as well, because they no longer believe it's really to our benefit to keep all of this hidden.
Inside? When you say inside, who is it you're referring to?
Inside the clandestine organizations that are privy to the information that we have crashed craft, we have alien bodies, that know what's going on with, you know, all of that. I think there's a larger number every day of people on the inside that are talking. There was just a Senate hearing recently by someone that was from the inside that said, hey, this is what's actually happening, folks. So you're seeing that more and more. I think people are refusing to keep this a secret because they know it's not to our benefit any longer to do that. It may have been a good thing to do just after World War II when everyone was really scared, but it's gone on for too long just because people are trying to do power grabs and stuff like that. That's no longer to our benefit, I think, to keep this a secret.
Yo, he was just dropping all type of gems. We got the Greys living in the earth, on the moon, all underwater, all type of stuff. And let me know in the comment section how much of that y'all believe or what y'all don't believe. I want to know what people actually think about this.
Peace in, y'all. This is FBI Special Agent Ted Gunderson. He was the head of the FBI for 16 years. You know all the things that we speculated about the FBI, the CIA, and all those three-letter agencies? Well, take a listen for yourself. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
I was an FBI agent from December 10, 1951, until I retired March the 30th, 1979. At the time of my retirement, I was in charge of most of Southern California. I had over 700 personnel under my command, budget of $22.5 million. I had 16 offices that I was responsible for. I had a fantastic career. In the old days, the FBI was a great organization. Unfortunately, as I said a few moments ago, it's been infiltrated by the satanic cult, Illuminati movement, as well as other agencies like the NSA and the CIA and so forth. And I'll go more into detail on that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a conspiracy realist. There is a conspiracy. And I will prove it to you, and I'll document it, Time is very limited. I'll do the best I can in the next hour or so. But go back to Pearl Harbor. Actually, go back further than that. Go back to Pearl Harbor. We knew about Pearl Harbor December the 4th. We were attacked December the 7th. We could have pulled our fleet out of Pearl Harbor. We didn't. I've talked to the naval intelligence officer who intercepted or received that message that the Japanese code had been broken. He passed it up to his superiors. Nothing occurred. After the war, he was subpoenaed by Congress. His superior in the Navy said, don't worry about it. Don't go to the hearing. He didn't. Never heard anything more about it. Jack Kennedy assassination, it's well documented. He was murdered by the mob in Chicago, Sam Giancana's group, and also by the CIA. Jack was going to revamp the CIA. He made his personal goals and aims public to within his circles, of course, and he was going to make some major changes. Also, he had withheld and aborted the invasion of Cuba, which upset some individuals. I recently learned that a fellow named I.B. Hale, who was an All-American football player, Texas Christian, was ordered and was involved, he was an FBI agent at the time, in changing the parade route of the Jack Kennedy group that day. I have information that the night before the Kennedy assassination, there was a secret meeting at the Clinton Murchison home, Murchison being an oil man. Those in that meeting included Lyndon Baines Johnson, and I'm sorry to say, and I regret that I know this is true because I've personally documented, I've talked to people who know that this is true. J. Edgar Hoover was there. I was shocked when I learned this, and I only learned this within the last year. And the reason I know is because I talked to the maid that worked in the Murchison home that night. And when Lyndon Johnson came out of that meeting, he says to his girlfriend, Margaret Brown, who wrote a book about this, and I used to have my radio talk show in 97, 98, and I had her on my radio talk show. She said that Johnson told her, after tomorrow, we don't have to worry about that SOB Kennedy. Bobby Kennedy, shot in the kitchen, the Ambassador Hotel, Los Angeles. 5 bullet shots in him. There were 11 shots fired. There were shot supposedly by Saran, and I'm sure he was. Saran was part of it. But Saran's gun would only hold 8 bullets. There were extra bullets in the wall and in the hall and in the door. Covered up. Ruby Ridge, we all know about. We had Waco. It's kind of interesting because we know Posse Comitatus. It's against the law for the federal government to use military against civilian personnel, violation of the law. Yet they brought military personnel in. And it's kind of interesting because I know those of you who have looked at the the Waco case, realize that there were 4 BATF agents who were killed in Waco. All 4 of those agents, in my research, took headshots. How many military men do we have out there? Raise your hand. What does that indicate to you? Sniper, right? They were shot by snipers. 4 headshots to 4 BATF agents. One of the headshots went from above down in through his lips and down into his body from above. There was a helicopter there by the government. Further research established that those 4 BATF agents at one time were bodyguards for Bill Clinton. Larry, Oklahoma City again. I'm going to go back to Oklahoma City. Terry Nichols, most recently, again, the co-conspirator in the Oklahoma City case, recently submitted, in fact, January 19th, submitted a document, an affidavit in the courts in Salt Lake City that Larry Watts, number 2 man in the FBI, actually orchestrated Oklahoma City. You don't see this in the mainstream media, do you? The 1993 World Trade Center bombing of the February 26, 1993. There's an article in New York Times. I have a copy of this article. It's October 23, 1993, New York Times. And it states that the FBI had been formed in among the terrorists, Salam, and he was commissioned by the terrorists to put the bomb together. He went to his FBI handler, supervisor, told him he was the one to put the bomb together. He'd been commissioned by the terrorists. We're going to use a dummy bomb, aren't we? His FBI handler said, no, we're going to use a real bomb. The FBI not only knew in advance that they were going to bomb the World Trade Center, car bomb the World Trade Center, the FBI furnished the ingredients for the bomb. It was in the New York Times, LA Times. Now, what I don't understand is, do not the senators and the congressmen of the United States read those 2 newspapers? Right? Somebody should have looked into that and conducted an honest investigation. But then, after all, we have 911. Do you think there was an honest investigation there? Absolutely not. Based on 28 years' experience and research, I have determined there are thousands of victims who have been targeted by an illegal U.S. government rogue criminal enterprise that is active 24 hours a day throughout the United States. A network of victims who work with me have reached the same conclusion based on, one, their personal experience. These are the people who have come to me. Two, the significant number of victims, thousands of them. And three, the extent and intensity of the harassment. I'm talking about micro beams, I'm talking about surveillances, I'm talking about poison gas, everything, the evil that you can think of. It is far too active to be operated and controlled by private enterprise. Private enterprise goals are to achieve financial gain. These operations require extensive financing to operate with no return on the investment. I believe that these programs are financed through illegal black operations, i.e. drugs, prostitution, gambling, kidnapped children, who are auctioned off as sex slaves, used as human sacrifices and body parts. I have documentation of every one of those. Absolute proof in my reports. By the way, this is a report. Speaking of my reports, this is a book that I put together that lists, and it's also on my website, tedgunderson.com, lists my research. What I'm telling you today is written up in reports and documented. I believe this well-organized, sophisticated operation has a central command located somewhere in the United States with multiple satellite offices scattered throughout the country. This criminal enterprise by this rogue element targets an individual. It is necessary to, in order to target them, they one, identify the individual, two, outline the reason the victim is targeted, and three, document and identify the weapons and tactics being directed against him or her.
Did you catch all that? And to think that a former head of FBI would be lying would be crazy, honestly. See, that's the ultimate form of what you call government, because government means to control your mind control. And literally, they're pointing the finger at you, saying that you're the problem. Meanwhile, they are the ones that are committing all the egregious atrocities. That is the highest level of criminals right there. That is Antichrist. That is Antichrist right there. So yeah, y'all, let me know what y'all think. Like and share this video, please. America must know what the government has been doing. And again, this is for educational and entertainment purposes only, please. Follow me on my other platforms where I go deeper on the esoteric level on these topics. Let's get this shit, y'all. Peace in.
That was a lot, man. Government just care about power and money. Power and money, and they're going to do whatever they can to keep it and to keep you down here. You got to always remember that. They ain't never got your best interest in mind, regardless of which side you choose. But yeah, these are some of the most creepy and bizarre TikToks that are out there. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.